Hey, 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 and welcome back to the Clark and Miller English Podcast. And if it's your first time here, then just, welcome, 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 welcome. It's been a while since we've done a sort of a blue episode, which is an episode more for students than for teachers. And next episode is a very teachery sort of intellectual I talked to a teacher basically about philosophical grammar or grammatical philosophy, one of those, and it's really cool. It's really interesting. If you're interested in deep dives into English, then it's a good one. But I thought it'd be nice to have a nice sort of studenty episode. And we're going to look at some and any. It's a real classic, a classic sort of language point. But it's quite interesting because it's very different from what you learned at school. Or, that's a bit of a big claim. It's very different from what a lot of course books teach. It's not as, in a way, it's more simple. And let's look at it. Let's go straight in right now. So, some and any. Here we go. When you sort of look at your typical English course book or your typical course, or even, when you're in elementary, one of the classic ways of describing some and any, one of the classic rules that sort of teachers give or course books give is, some is for positive and any is for negatives and questions, which isn't really true. There are lots and lots of examples where we use some in a question, where we use any in a positive sentence, where we use any, some in a negative sentence. It's all possible. Like any combination of some and any and positive and negative and question, it's all possible. And we're going to look at the different combinations of these and what they mean. So we have a general rule here, and the general rule is not that some is for positive and any is for negative and questions. The general rule here is that some is limited. Some provides some sort of limitation, and any is unlimited. That's it. It's really simple. Some is when you kind of, let's say any is like when you have everything in the world and it's all possible. And some is when you take like a bowl, for example, and you put the bowl over your forever space and you've created a limited space inside the bowl. That was a very strange metaphor. I did make it up completely on the fly there. But you're kind of putting some sort of limitation on infinity. Any is infinity, some is a bowl. That's it, a bowl on infinity. Brilliant images I'm creating here, obviously. If you're confused, don't be. We'll figure this out very quickly. So let's get some real examples going on. Okay, so I want you to imagine lots and lots of dots, lots of small dots, little circles, lots of dots. Thousands and thousands of these dots. I'm going to wait for this car to come past. I'm in a new place, by the way, and there are lots of traffic, but, it's quite nice. Anyway, lots and lots of circles, lots of dots, and each dot, each circle represents a metal band. Now, as we know, there are lots of metal bands. Metal is popular in pretty much every country in the world. And there are thousands and thousands of metal bands. And imagine each of these metal bands represented by one little circle. And you've got thousands of circles in front of you. These are all the metal bands in the world, right? So you've got that image. Lovely. Okay, I want you to keep that image for the rest of this podcast episode because we're going to use that and we're going to keep referring to that image, the metal dots. We're going to look at 4 sentences. The sentences are, she likes, let's give her a name. Yasmin. Nice Turkish, no, Zeynep, I like that one. Zeynep, nice Turkish name, I like that name. Zeynep likes some metal bands. Zeynep likes any metal band. Zeynep likes I'll get that right. Zeynep doesn't like some metal bands. And Zeynep doesn't like any metal bands. Okay, one more time. Zeynep likes some metal bands. Zeynep likes any metal band. Zeynep doesn't like some metal bands. And Zeynep doesn't like any metal bands. There we go. We got some and any, positive some, positive any, negative some, negative any. What do they mean? Let's look at them one by one. Zeynep likes some metal bands. All right, here we go. So you've got the metal dots in your head there, right? Every single metal band has a dot. Now, if we say Zeynep likes some metal bands, we're limiting it. So put a square that around, let's say, 100 of those dots, and inside that square are the bands that Zeynep likes. So we've put the bowl onto infinity. We have limited the everything. Zeynep doesn't like every metal band in the world. She only likes some metal bands. She likes System of a Down, but she doesn't like Metallica, mostly for their conflict with Napster. But, that's another story. She likes Type O Negative, but strangely, she doesn't like Anthrax. So there are some metal bands that Zeynep likes. Zeynep likes some metal bands, but not all metal bands. I guess that's the implication. When you say some, there's an invisible but not all happening in that sentence. So yeah, Zeynep likes some metal bands. It's limited. Okay, that was positive some. Zeynep likes any metal band. Okay, so this is going against the rules, the classic rules, shall we call them. Look, we have any and a positive sentence. Zeynep likes any metal band. So why do we say this? It's a bit weird, right? Okay, so you've got your square around the 100 metal bands that she likes. Now remove the square and we're back to like all the metal bands, right? The thousands of dots. Now it's unlimited. And basically, this is it, right? Zeynep likes any metal band is another way of saying Zeynep likes all the metal bands. But the context does make a bit of difference here. So I'm going to give you some sentences and we can see how it works, right? For example, person A, I'm thinking of getting Zeynep an album for her birthday. I know she likes heavy music, but what should I get her? Oh, it doesn't matter. She'll be happy with something she'll be happy with any metal band, any album, if it's metal. She'll be happy with any album, if it's metal. She'll be happy with any metal band. That's it. The difference between all the metal bands and any metal band is that you're not buying Zeynep every single metal album for her birthday. You don't have that kind of money. Zeynep doesn't have that kind of time. You're only getting her one album, right? So that means it's more like you can get her this one or this one or this one or this one. You can get her Type O Negative or Anthrax or Megadeth or Black Sabbath or Led Zeppelin if you think that is really metal. It doesn't matter. You're choosing one from many, one from all even. So any is kind of an or situation. This one or this one or this one. It doesn't matter. Let's wait for the car. The car is passing. Okay, good, lovely. Okay, yeah, that's it. So any is really removing the bowl and making things very, very limitless. But you're only choosing one thing from the limitless possibilities. Let's look at a couple of examples here. Another easy one here, easy example to see what's happening. Compare these sentences. You can have anything from the menu. You can have everything from the menu. So probably you're going to choose anything from the menu. You're not going to choose everything from the menu. Again, you probably don't have that money and you probably don't have enough space in your stomach to choose everything from the menu. But you can choose anything from the menu. So anything from the menu is this or this or this or this. But everything from the menu is this and this and this and this. And you just don't want to do that because you will be really, really, really ill. Anything and everything. They're both limitless. One is everything at once and the other is one or this or this. Okay, I think I've got the point in. Okay, cool. By the way, while we're talking about this, any doesn't mean not. This is a very common mistake a lot of people make. Don't say, oh, I have any money, meaning I don't have any money. It's I have no money or I don't have any money. Any doesn't mean not. It's almost the opposite. It kind of means every. Do not use any as a replacement for not because it doesn't mean not. Okay, good. Moving on. So to recap, those are the positive ones. Zeynep likes some metal bands, no problem there. Zeynep likes any metal band, meaning you can choose this or this or this. Okay, now let's go to the negatives. Zeynep doesn't like some metal bands. Interesting. So this is kind of similar. The meaning is similar to she likes some metal bands. If you like some metal bands, then you don't like some other metal bands, right? But there's a difference in messaging. So when you say she doesn't like some metal bands, the hidden message is that there are some that she does like. And you're kind of pointing towards that a little bit. So the secret message here is that if you say Zeynep doesn't like some metal bands, you're kind of saying, yeah, but there are some metal bands she does like. It's kind of pointing towards the positive, even if you're using the negative. The emphasis is on some. The emphasis is on the limitation of things. So when you're emphasizing the limitation, you're also suggesting the alternatives. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Finally, she doesn't like any metal bands. Okay, this is, again, classic negative, any. And it's very total. It's not that she doesn't like metal. That's a simple neutral statement. She doesn't like any metal bands. Again, it's limitless. So there are 0 metal bands she likes. It's the opposite of saying she likes all the metal bands. She doesn't like any metal bands. So looking at the positive sentence with any, she likes any metal band. It has a sort of, it doesn't matter, it's all good for her. But if you say she doesn't like any metal band, you're saying it doesn't matter, it's all bad. So it doesn't make a difference which one you choose. She likes any metal band, positive. It doesn't matter which one you choose, she'll like it. She doesn't like any metal band. It doesn't matter which one you choose, she won't like it. It's limitless. It's all bad. Metal and Zeynep don't mix. Give her some dream pop instead. Or some K-pop. Yeah, she might like some K-pop. Give her some K-pop. Some is limited and any is unlimited. It's that simple. There are some other ways we use some and any too. Some emphasizes limitation, right? So sometimes you can use the some to really show that there's something missing. Let's look at an example. Like a neutral example, a simple example would be, hi honey, I'm home. Oh, and I bought some flowers. Okay, yeah, cool. I bought some flowers. Nice and simple. Here are some flowers. I bought some. Here they are. There's no hidden message here. But let's look at this conversation. Did you get any flowers for Jimmy? Well, I got some flowers. Now, when you're emphasizing some like this, there's a hidden message, right? I got some flowers. You're emphasizing the limitation. So you're kind of saying, oh, maybe there aren't enough. I got 4 flowers. Is it enough? I got some flowers. Implication is it may not be enough. There may not be enough flowers. If you emphasize some, especially with your pronunciation, I got some flowers, then yeah, you're emphasizing the limited number of flowers that you got, and you're saying, maybe it's not enough. Another example, have you got some time? I want to ask you a question. Yeah, I've got some time. The message here is like, Be quick, because yes, I've got time, but it isn't much. It's limited. So you can use some, especially with your pronunciation, to express how limited something is. You can also use some in a rather interesting way. It can mean a piece of something, an incomplete piece of something, an uncountable part of something that's countable. Let me give you an example using bananas. Here are 3 questions, very good questions. Questions I'm always very happy to hear. Question 1, would you like a banana? Question 2, would you like some bananas? Question 3, would you like some banana? Okay, wow. Okay, so would you like a banana? Okay, fine, that's easy. 1 banana. Would you like some bananas? Cool, okay, more than 1 banana. The best question. Would you like some banana? Now, when it's some with a singular like this, it becomes uncountable, or rather, it becomes a piece of banana. So in this image, I'm picturing somebody who's eating a banana. They've broken a small piece of the banana off, and kindly, they're offering it to me. Would you like some banana? Not a banana, because that's too much. Not some bananas, that's just crazy. But here, have some banana, a piece of my banana. Cake is another good example for this. Some cake is like a slice of cake, a slice from a big cake. But some cakes, I'm always picturing smaller cakes, like cupcakes. I ate some cakes at the party, meaning like little small cakes. Would you like some cake? That's just 1 slice of cake. Yeah, so yes, some and singular can actually mean a piece of something. You can also use some. This is probably my favorite, I think. So a kind of way to show that you don't care about something or you think it's not important. Let's look at this dialogue here. Who was Cassie just talking to? Oh, I don't know. A guy. All right, so far, simple, neutral sentence. Who was Cassie just talking to? Oh, a guy. Like a man, a person. It's very neutral. But let's compare it to this. Who was Cassie just talking to? Oh, I don't know. Some guy. Some guy. Okay, so we've changed a guy to some guy. Now, we're not talking about a piece of the guy, a part of the guy, like the banana. She wasn't talking to his leg. But it means some guy. It means, who cares? I don't know, and I don't want to know. Some guy. It's dismissive. It's like it's not important. Just some guy. He's not important. Let's look at another example. Karim, oh yeah, he just spends all day listening to hip-hop and playing some computer game. I've given up on him, to be honest. Playing some computer game. I don't care what. It's got guns. It's soldiers. I don't know. It's some computer game. Yeah, you're dismissive. You're saying, oh, it's a computer game. I don't care about it. I don't really care what it is. Some computer game. One more example. Then she started talking endlessly about some course she went on, about how to align your chakras and introduce yogurt into your life or something like that. Just some course. Some course. I'm being dismissive. I don't believe in chakras. I don't think introducing more yogurt into your life is something you really need to do. So I just say, oh, some course. I consider it unimportant. So yeah, some with a singular can also mean like, I don't care about it. And finally, we can use any to express limitless possibility. I mean, we already looked at any and we saw that it's limitless, right? So you can use that and you can kind of emphasize that. So if you have a neutral sentence like, he'll eat something, that's fine. He will eat something, you know. It doesn't really say much. I mean, most people will eat something. But if you go, oh, he'll eat anything. He'll eat anything. You've suddenly changed the expression a lot. He'll eat anything. Sharks, pasta, sushi, tables. You know, he'll eat anything. He doesn't care. It has a very strong expressive feeling to it. The message is there's no limit to what he'll eat. You know, even insects and stuff. Also, I'd keep an eye on your cat while he's around if I were you. You know, just saying, he'll eat anything. Or maybe something a bit more friendly. Me? Oh yeah, I'll make friends with anyone. I don't care. It doesn't matter who it is. Yeah, any, when it's in the positive, has a very strong it doesn't matter feeling. Yeah, he'll talk to anyone. You know, him or her or her or them or her or them or him. It doesn't matter. He'll talk to them. Yeah, so that's it. Some and any. Just remember, some is limited and any is limitless. And sometimes we really like to emphasize that sense of limitedness and that sense of limitlessness when we're pronouncing things. Okay, cool. I hope that was fun. I hope that was interesting. And, you know, sometimes it's nice to just sort of have a simple explanation for things sometimes, because then it gives you more flexibility with the language and you can use it more in more interesting ways and you can express yourself better. So that's it. Some and any. Thanks very much for listening. I will talk it to you next time when I have a really, really interesting interview with a surprise guest. Until then, I'll talk at you later. Have a wonderful day, evening, morning, night, whatever it is and whenever it is where you are now. And talk at you next time. Bye-bye.